Jasmine Crockett, the Democrats really don't like her. They are trying to destroy her. They have no use for the new sort of AOC. By the way, AOC has no use for her either. They're all sort of ganging up on Jasmine, which I find amusing, if nothing else. Here's Jasmine Crockett's reputation getting trashed in the New York Post, where probably, people that are within her own party, I mean, this is her own staff. Her own staff called all this in to the New York Post. What is the expression when you go to DC? Make sure you get a dog because you're never going to be able to get a friend. If you want a friend in DC, make sure you get a dog. I think that's the expression. Wow, 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 wow. So let me tell you, Jasmine is getting hosed here in the New York Post. I'm just going to look at it on my phone with you because I'm already close enough to the camera. I don't think I can get any closer at this point. And I'm just trying to see this because Crockett is up a creek without a paddle. Three sources who worked with Crockett say she's rarely present when TV cameras aren't rolling. And she terrorizes her staff when she does appear. Oh my goodness. So nobody wants to work with this lady. They go on to say Crockett is often not found at her government-provided suite in the Longworth House office building, with one insider saying she prefers to work from her nearby luxury apartment building, sometimes for weeks on end. She's laying around her apartment. She won't come into the office. Why does this not surprise me? And it really is, and she is just indifferent to staff and will scream at them. The former aide said she is never in the office and she is very disengaged. She does her bull, that goes viral, and then freaks out over the most random things. In other words, this lady is not a lady. A second source close to Crockett's team added, quote, "It is widely known that she is not nice to staff and is just not a really dedicated member focused on constituents." Why doesn't that surprise me? She is also focused, says the source, almost exclusively on being an influencer, not a member of Congress. Why doesn't that surprise me either? This woman just wants to be an influencer. She just wants to get on TikTok or whatever, not a member of Congress. That's a third source that said that one, who worked with her, describing her, oh, this is good, as all diva, no wow. In other words, there's no substance there. I mean, not to mention the fact that she went to some fancy schmancy hoity-toity private school, high school that was $50,000 a year or something, and then went off to pretty good college that cost plenty, and yet she pretends like she's this potty-mouthed girl from the wrong side of the tracks. It was a pretty expensive school, right, for a kid from the wrong side of the tracks. Well, she's also depicted as a phony, as a massive phony. The staffer is expected, oh, this is great. You want to know how she gets to work? Okay, this is really good, you guys. Can you see this all right? So the staffer is expected to stand outside. Here you go. I can't believe, what a trip this lady is. The staffer is expected to stand outside when she has to go into the Capitol, on the rare time that she actually goes in. She makes a staffer stand outside her vehicle, which has to be an Escalade or similar upscale make, and open the door for her. So you're technically not allowed to do this, says the source to New York Post, but it's wildly inefficient. Instead of using the scheduler's car, she rents a car every week in DC, and she expects her staff to drive her around while she's in the back seat, calling it a, quote, power play, akin to, quote, treating the staff person like an Uber driver. You get what you pay for, so to speak. I mean, why on earth Texas ever elected her? Come on. Texas, you can do a whole lot better. This is, look, the redistricting may mean that she doesn't have a shot in HELL. Of course, if she ever comes back, because don't forget what they're trying to pull there in Texas, and Abbott has no use for any of it. Here she is speaking on CBS. I guess, CBS, I don't know what to say. Hey, Cat Crazy, good to see you. Cat Crazy writes this. It almost seems that Crockett is building her social media audience intentionally. Could it be that her focus is more on being a future MSNBC host? I agree with you. Like, I think half these politicians would much rather just be on TV. I mean, one of them, and he's on our side of the aisle there, Matt Gaetz, he made that decision to just go be on TV, right? I'm like, okay, being on TV, it's fine. It's what I've done my entire adult life for a career, and I'm sort of disappointed, I should say, that some of these politicians, just like Jasmine Crockett, just want to be on television. I think that's true. I think that that's what she's about. Again, all talk, no substance. She did go on to, I don't know if it's TV or a online thing for CBS. CBS, remember, that had to pay that big fee and also promise that they would be less biased in how they approach the news. Here she is speaking with one of their reporters about this article and sort of trying to defend herself, but kind of like blowing it off, just sort of laughing it off. If they said this about Trump, he would flip out and he'd be like, that's not true, that's not true. But listen to Jasmine's response.
Are you a no-show boss from hell who terrorizes staffers?
Oh my goodness. Listen, I know that I have arrived, honey. That is the way that I see this. Because as Beyonce says, if they're not talking about you, then obviously you must not be doing anything. You know what? This is just more slander, more nonsense, more lies. And honestly, I don't think that the New York Post would probably be the first ones to be able to figure out if I was a boss from hell. You and I were joking before we got on camera about all of the scrutiny that comes with being not only woman, but being young and being a Black woman. There's a lot of scrutiny that comes my way, and it comes my way from all different angles. But when people start talking about you, that's when you know that you are obviously getting under their skin. So I am not gonna give up. There's a song that I like to quote every once in a while. It says, "Your hate is my motivation." So keep hating. All it does is motivate me to continue to do what I do, which is to be loud and proud on behalf of the American people.
All right, maybe you should start showing up to work now and then. Think about that. I mean, if you really wanted to do something, right, to help the American people and your constituents, you might actually go to the office and, not be such a rhymes with witch, okay, to your staff. What is that? I mean, like, gosh almighty. Again, she's just not, she's not impressive in any way, which tells you when the Democrat Party, and I actually think they're circling the wagons to take her down. I think they're trying to take AOC down as well.